Okay team, so today in this video we're going to be covering finding comfort, which means finding the right mattress for your customer based on their body type, their sleeping position, and the issues that they might be personally experiencing. In order to do this properly, we need to make sure we first understand the problems that customers are coming in with and experiencing. And the nice part about this industry is there's really like 5 to 7 problems that are common issues that you'll see with most of your customers. So we'll start by running through the list of common sleep problems, and we'll work backwards from there about how to fit for the right comfort and eliminate those problems, again, based on body type, sleep position, and any issues they might currently be experiencing. So the number one issue that we see or that we hear about, and this often stems from having an older bed that is sagging, is back and neck pain. And we're going to dive deep into each one of these as we talk about how to solve them. And I'm also going to show images of how to spot this visually when your customer's on the mattress, how to be able to see if they're on the right one or if they're on a bed that's going to make the pains they're experiencing worse. After back pain would be the number 2, which is numbness or tingling feeling. And that comes from whatever point is touching the mattress is getting a lot of pressure and it's cutting circulation, and it starts to give them the pins and needles feeling. And even if they don't fully consciously wake up in the middle of the night, the tossing and turning to get onto their other side is preventing them from getting into the deep stages of sleep, like REM sleep, where you actually rest and recover. So we need to find a bed that keeps people in the right alignment and locks them into their one position, because the pressure relief is there so that they're not constantly tossing and turning and rolling through the night. One of the other issues, the third issue that customers experience, is sleeping too hot or too cold. Sagging or roll off. If they have a smaller size bed that does not have the good edge support, customers will report that they feel like they're sliding and slipping out of their mattress. And then partner disturbance would be the other one, where you feel your partner move. And then if you wanted to slide one more in there, we won't be talking as much on this. This will be more of a adjustable base conversation, is issues with breathing. So sleep apnea and or snoring. So you guys will find with most of your customers, there's 3 primary sleeping positions, and then you have some people who have like a hybrid of 2 of those 3. So the number one most common is sleeping on your side. Roughly 80% of consumers are going to be sleeping on their side. The least common that you'll find is a stomach sleeper who sleeps completely flat on their belly and has their head turned to one side or the other. And then you'll find back sleepers as well. So somebody who's laying flat on their back, which is the healthiest way to sleep. According to doctors, it's just a little bit more difficult with breathing and some of the other issues. So most people will naturally roll onto their side. And then the one that you'll see a lot of, as far as like a hybrid style of sleeping, is the half stomach, half side sleeper position. I'm gonna show you a picture of what I mean right here. And that's somebody who, one, we want to recommend that everybody starts to move onto their back if it's at all possible. But if not, we want to get them fully onto their side so that they're not in that hybrid position. That brings a whole different set of issues with it. So you need to be asking yourself, how does the sleep setup that they currently have contribute to the issues that they are experiencing? And how does our product and finding the right mattress fix those issues? So we're working backwards from what their problem is to how we're going to fix it. And if your process is surrounded around that and not, hey, let me sell a customer a bed, you're going to make this whole thing a lot easier. You're coming from the standpoint of a helpful advisor. So similar to a doctor. They're not going to tell you exactly, hey, you have to do this, you have to do that. But you come into a doctor's office, they ask you a series of questions, they diagnose what's wrong with you, and then they prescribe you the solution. Same concept with this process. They come in, you diagnose what issues is this person having. Are they a big body type, a big guy, a little small girl, everything in between? Are they really tall, really short? And you want to get a feel for what are the issues they're experiencing. If they have information about their current mattress, you never want to get too detailed in asking what bed you have. Customers just don't know. But if you can figure out whether or not that bed felt pretty soft, pretty firm, if you can get a gist, you can reverse engineer based on what you're seeing in the store, what their issues are, and what is causing it. How is their mattress currently causing it? So that's the train of thought I want you to be in for when you're first laying somebody on a bed and you can stand back and visually see them on the mattress. You should be able to diagnose really quickly, okay, this person needs this level of comfort, this level of support in order to get them locked into the right spot and get some great sleep. So regardless of the position that your customer sleeps in, there's really 3 basic things that you want to look for to make sure it's the right mattress for them. So number 1 is comfort. Comfort is not the only thing, but is obviously the most important thing. A customer will not buy a bed that they do not think is comfortable. But you do need to be diligent and take your time here, because if a customer has been experiencing issues, and most of the time that's what we see, is a customer will have a bed that's really hurting them and they'll delay the process of getting in to see us until the issue is either so bad or until they see that bed start to really sag, and then they go, you know what, it's time. But if they're coming in off of a bad sleep system and they come into your store, every single bed you lay them on is going to feel better than what they had. So you're gonna wanna look for these other 2 things to make sure you're on the right mattress, because if you just go off of the first one they like, you're gonna create issues, because it's gonna feel good now to them because it's better than what they had. But fast forward 2 years into the future, if that's not the right bed for them, they're gonna be stuck in the same buying cycle again, and they're gonna be back at their local mattress store in the next 2 years shopping. So comfort is obviously what you feel when you lay down on the mattress. Support is what you feel when you wake up. So I really like the analogy of a sofa. Everybody's fallen asleep on a sofa at some point in their life. They're nice, soft, comfortable most of the time. And when you wake up to go back to the bedroom at 2 a.m., you've got this stiff neck and your back is hurting and you got to drag yourself to the bedroom. That's because the sofa was comfortable but not supportive. Conversely, you could sleep on the floor and you'd have hypothetically good support. It's going to give you, a lot of pushback, but it's not comfortable at all. So what we're looking for is right in the middle. It's comfortable, but it's supportive. Comfort's what you feel when you fall asleep. Support's what you feel when you wake up in the morning. Number 2, and this is an important one, is alignment. This might be the most important one. If you're getting back pain, neck pain, that stems from alignment. Naturally, we have a curve in our spines, and our spines want to stay in a neutral position. Think about if you got into a pool of water and you were floating. The position that your body will naturally go to is the one where your spine is in a neutral position. So I'm gonna bring this a little closer so you guys can see. I really, really like this demo. Customers doubt what they hear, believe what they can see. So grabbing demos and showing them is so powerful. So what we're looking at is, I want you to imagine there's a dotted line going down this lady's spine right here, all the way down to her tailbone. And what we want is all the way from the pillow down to the tailbone. We want alignment. We want that spine to look straight. And this is obviously, guys, a demo that's predominantly for side sleepers. We'll talk about back sleepers and stomach sleepers later on in the video. But if that pillow was too thick and propping this lady's neck up, that would pull her spine out of alignment and create pain in her neck. If this bed was too soft, that would let her sink further into the mattress and it would cause the spine to do more of a hammocking shape. Naturally, our bodies, when our spine is out of alignment, they want to pull your spine back into alignment. So even though the person's asleep, subconsciously, their back is working overtime, trying to keep that spine in that neutral position. And then they wake up in the morning having not had proper support, and they're feeling stiff and achy and it's painful. So alignment is the number 2 thing that we're looking for. And then the number 3 thing that we're looking for, next most important behind alignment, is pressure relief. Proper pressure relief is going to alleviate aches and pains that the customer is experiencing. And like I mentioned earlier, it's going to lock them into their sleep position so that hypothetically they're not rolling around through the night and they're actually getting to those deeper stages of sleep. So regardless of how the person sleeps, whether it's side, back, or stomach, you want to just think logically what portion of their body is pushing against the mattress the most. So obviously for a side sleeper, we're typically wider on our hips and on our shoulders. And so that's the point that's going to push into the mattress the most. And that's the point that's going to get the most pressure back and start cutting off circulation. So there are stories with like hybrids and foams where they're very, very good at pressure relief. You got to kind of find the sweet spot of what's important to your customer, what the customer likes. And then when you find the right mattress, before you ever talk about specs, you're talking about why it's the right bed for them. You can literally sell mattresses not knowing anything that's in the bed, just by showing them how it's the right style of mattress, the right comfort of mattress for their body type, for their sleeping style, and for the issues that they're experiencing. To reference back to what I was talking about with step number one, which is it comfortable to the customer? Again, obviously this is very important, but it is not the most important thing. If you are selling off of just comfort alone, it is confusing to customers. They come in and they have a bed that's causing them issues, right? They walk into your store. There's a $5,000 K-Class that I'm standing right next to, and there's a $499 pillow top off the value rack. Both of them are gonna feel nice and soft, and both of them are gonna feel better than what the customer has at their house currently. If you are selling off of comfort alone, and one's 5,000 and one's 500, and they feel somewhat comparable, what do you think you're gonna sell every single time? The $500 bed. So much more goes into these mattresses that makes them worth the 5,000 than just how they feel. Yes, they feel fantastic and they're great beds, but all of the other things that contribute to helping somebody get better quality sleep is what makes this bed worth the $5,000. So if you're selling off of only comfort, this is something I hear with newer salespeople. How does this one feel? Oh, this one feels good. How much is it? It's $5,000. And they've given the customer no sort of value in it's the right bed for you, and no sort of value in this is a better option than anything else that you're gonna find on the market. This is a quick way to drive your average ticket down, to drive your close percentage down, and to drive your customer satisfaction down. If you go through this process, it works, and we can, within a small margin of error, we can make sure we get them the right mattress. So this is gonna eliminate a lot of comfort exchanges if you're doing this step properly. I have seen fantastic salespeople that do almost only this, and they sell the snot out of beds. So the best way to do it is a hybrid of this, and then, hey, why is this a better option than anything else on the market? But if you're doing this right, customers will fall in love with the bed, and they will ideally think that Beautyrest or Serta made that mattress for them, specifically for them, their body type, their issues they're experiencing. That's the sweet spot. A bed that is comfortable but is not supportive is like torture to a customer. They're gonna get it home, it's gonna feel really great when they lay down, and then they're gonna wake up in pain, and again, they'll be 2 weeks into this thing calling you, and they'll be super frustrated. So make sure you're finding the comfort for them. Make sure you're touching on, hey, this is why it's putting your spine into alignment, and use the demos. And that includes the pillow demonstration. And we'll go more into fitting people for pillows in future videos. But the pillow is a big part of this conversation. And make sure that they're laying on the bed how they do in their bed at the house. If somebody's a side sleeper and they come in, invariably, I see customers just naturally get on their back. And then you ask them, hey, do you sleep on your back? No, I sleep on my side or my stomach. Then why are you laying on your back? It's the same thing as trying on snowboarding boots that are gonna lock your feet into one position and then deciding that you're gonna go run a mile in those boots. It's not gonna work. You need to test it, how it's going to be used. So, quick 10-second recap. Customer comes in, find out what their issues are. This goes back to rapport building. Get to know the person, find out what their issues are, find out what they're sleeping on if you can, or roughly how it felt when they first bought it. Label them with a few issues in your mind of the common sleep problems that they're experiencing. Figure out how they sleep. Then you lay them on a mattress, and you're looking for very specific things. So when they're laying on that mattress, you're looking for that spine to be nice and straight regardless of how they sleep. So for a stomach sleeper, if it's really soft, their back's gonna get the arch in it, and they're gonna tell you that they're experiencing neck and shoulder pain because that's the pinch point for that shape. If they're on their back and they're on a really soft mattress, they're gonna hammock. If they're on a firm and they're on too hard of a mattress, hold this up where you guys can see it, it's gonna put lots of pressure on the hips and the shoulders, and then you'll notice there's this little gap down here where the bed is not conforming and giving them the pushback they need to keep that spine nice and straight. So I wanna make sure it's comfortable, I wanna make sure their spine is in alignment, and I wanna make sure that they're getting proper pressure relief that's gonna eliminate them from rolling around throughout the night. I inserted a couple of clips into this video so you could get visuals on some of these things that we were talking about. All right, guys, so for this, we're gonna run through the different sleeping positions and the different comforts and what to keep an eye out for. So we'll start with sleeping on your side. That's by far the most popular sleep position. It's about 80% of customers. and I'm using Victor here. So you'll notice what we're looking for is hips and shoulders. So women are usually a little bit wider in the hips, men usually in the shoulders. You'll notice Victor's shoulder is popping up here a little bit on this one. So we're looking for alignment. We want straightness throughout the entire mattress. That's the first thing we're looking for, and then pressure relief. So you'll notice his hips and shoulders look relatively good as far as pressure relief, but I do see that his midsection is sagging a little bit. To keep that spine straight, we would want to probably give him a little bit more supportive of a mattress. Or one thing to keep in mind is going with a little bit more softness where his hips and shoulders sink in more. As long as the bed is still supportive, that'll help fix that alignment as well. And then for this particular pillow, just to touch on that real quick, this pillow's propping his neck a little bit too far up, so I probably would grab a little bit of a thinner pillow until we get on a different comfort, and then that's going to change the depth necessary for that pillow. Okay guys, so the first bed we were on, Victor was on a medium. This is the firm, so this is the L-Class firm. And first thing you'll notice right away is that that spine is a little bit straighter and more supported. And the pillow looks a little bit better now because he's not sinking as far into the mattress. So it's keeping that spine in more of a neutral spot. The one thing that you do want to make sure to keep your mind on is obviously this is a good alignment position for him, but this is going to put an extra amount of pressure on those hips and shoulders, and that's what's going to cause him to toss and turn. So getting the customer's feedback on how this is feeling on his hips and shoulders is super important. All right. Okay, now Victor is on the K-Class, which is arguably one of our softest beds. And from customers, you'll hear right away, they love the comfort of it. It's a super luxurious, comfortable mattress, but it is very soft. And you'll notice, look at how high the top of his neck is in comparison to his lower back. This bed is extremely soft, and he's sinking in and he's hammocking in this bed. So for somebody who's a medium to bigger body type, yes, the Beautyrest Black is a good way of still getting the support and going a little softer than they normally would, but this would be the wrong mattress for Victor in this scenario. Okay, now Victor is on his stomach, and he is on a firm mattress. So obviously, when you're on your stomach, your spine is completely suspended in air and not directly touching the mattress in any way, shape, or form, just like when you're on your side. So finding the right alignment spot does become more difficult. This is why this isn't as popular as a sleeping position. However, when a person is on their stomach, you do want something that is not going to be too soft. So notice his spine is relatively straight, and then you'll also notice he's actually not using a pillow. A pillow for a stomach sleeper, they either need something extremely thin or none at all, and that's because it's going to push that neck up and get that out of alignment. Another thing that's important to point out to stomach sleepers is the fact that he's going to turn his neck like that all night, every night, is twisting his spine. So that's going to cause a different set of issues as far as neck pain. And this goes back to, again, why it's not the healthiest way to sleep on your stomach. But our job is to coach them and get them into better sleeping positions. At the end of the day, though, they're going to sleep what's comfortable to them, and you need to find a way to make whatever mattress they decide to go with accommodate their sleeping position. So this is Victor on his stomach on a very soft mattress, and these differences are subtle, but you guys will notice his lower half is sinking down into the mattress. His shoulders and neck area is floating up on top, and this is absolutely going to cause either lower back pain or upper neck shoulder pain when he wakes up if he were to sleep like this for 8 hours. So somebody who's a stomach sleeper, you want to point those things out and get them onto something that's more medium or medium firm. All right, guys, so now Vic's on his back, which is the healthiest way to sleep, assuming you don't have breathing issues. People who do have breathing issues will often roll on their side because they find it easier to take deep breaths. They don't snore as much. It helps with sleep apnea. However, sleeping on your back when your spine is directly supported by the mattress is absolutely the way that we want to go. And if we insert an adjustable base, which we'll do in another training, that's going to allow him to elevate the head and get to that more optimal breathing position. But you'll notice on this bed, now with the pillow, little propped up, but not bad, and body is largely in good alignment. If somebody's a back sleeper, they're going to make your job really easy because when you're laying flat on your back, you have a wider range of mattresses that will still keep you in alignment, and you can judge more based on comfort than the alignment and pressure relief issues. Those come into play more so with the side sleepers, which again is 80% of your customers. So this would be a good bed. What we want to avoid, and you'll see next, is the too soft of a back sleeper. Okay, guys. So here is Victor on his back on an extremely soft mattress, and it's not terrible. Like I said, you'll have a wider range that's going to accommodate as far as comfort for a back sleeper. However, he is still kind of hammocked in this one. You'll notice his feet are elevated, his head is elevated, and then his midsection is sinking down, similar to how he'd be laying in a hammock. So this might work for a customer if Vic was my customer right now. However, I would caution that might be a little too soft, and as the bed breaks in over time and gets softer and takes the shape of his body, which is perfectly normal, it's going to exaggerate the position that he's in right now. So he'd probably be better off with going with that first medium, and then as it breaks in and gets a little softer, it'll keep him in alignment without sagging too much. Feel free to rerun back through this video a few times and pay attention to the finer nuances. I'm telling you, this right here is 90% of the battle. If you can master this, it's going to make the whole rest of the process so much easier, and it will lead to better average tickets, because this is going to get people into the mindset of, what are the issues I'm having? How do I fix them? Why does the $5,000 bed fix this issue better than the $500 bed? Thank you guys. I appreciate your time. Pop some feedback into the comments here below, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.